Good afternoon, all of you. I am Anindo Sengupta, member of Expert Committee on School Education. I am here to tell you something particularly in the present pandemic situation. Our schools are now closed in the sense that no physical classes are being held now. Our students are forced to remain at home, which is a kind of a torture to them. We, the teachers, are at home, trying our best to communicate with them through the virtual mode. This is a strange situation. Friends, we are facing a very strange situation where we, as teachers of physical education, have to teach our students through the virtual mode. Our students love to play. They love to come to school to play with their classmates, but here they are forced to remain at home, away from their school. As a result, their physical activities are being affected. Usual classrooms are not held. Now, government has taken various steps. Government has adopted various measures to engage them in various ways. One of the ways is to engage them in activities like model activity task. Besides that, you have been interacting with them over telephone, through WhatsApp and other social medias, and thereby you have been giving constant classes to them. In this pandemic situation, a new role has been conferred upon you. You have to do a new role in the sense that you, as physical teacher, you cannot actually engage them physically in a group gathering, yet the emphasis is now given on academic development. This is again a strange thing, but we have to adapt to this new situation. As teachers of physical education, we are now trying to give the students some concepts of physical education as well as health, because as I mentioned, the subject is health and physical education with equal importance on both. There are several model activity tasks that are supplied to the students through the schools. It is expected that the students will work out those various model activity tasks, and instead of themselves coming to school, their guardians will carry their answers to school, which you are going to correct, which you are going to evaluate rather, and thereby try to know their shortcomings, their learning gaps, because whatever they have learned is either through the virtual mode or by themselves. So, naturally there may be certain learning gaps. As teachers, it is your duty to find those learning gaps and thereby to provide them some remediation. Now, it is the duty of the teachers to actually help them with all possible means to minimize those learning gaps, to supply such remediation so that in every class the learning outcome that they have to acquire each student has been able to acquire that learning outcome. It is the role of every teacher not to help one individual, but all the students of the class to achieve that learning outcome of that class, so that he is eligible to be promoted for the next class. In this session, I am talking about the classes, that is from class 5 to 8, and that is on health and physical education. As I said, the activity tasks which are provided to the students in all these months, these are basically model activity tasks. As teachers, you can adapt those model activity tasks and frame them accordingly, or you can also use them for your students. The more you engage them, the better it is for the students. The students, if they are actively engaged in more activities, then they will be more exposed to various learning situations. And as teachers, you will be able to understand, to find out where the learning gaps are there. So, on one hand, by exposing them to various activity tasks, to various activities rather, you are not only engaging them in certain work, but also on the other hand, you are trying to find out that while staying at home, are they far removed from their development of learning, or are they are close to it, and how far, and to what amount their learning outcomes they could acquire. That is the role of the teachers of today. Health and physical education, we all know, has two sections. One is the theoretical section, another is the practical section. It is sad to say that in this pandemic situation, we as teachers of health and physical education, we cannot engage them in physical activities, in some games and sports that are to be played in the school ground, that are to be played as a team or individual, and thereby the health and mind that are to be developed. That we cannot do, because the effect of COVID-19 has restricted us all. But the theoretical part, where the concept on health and physical education, that has to be developed, that can be done. And for that reason, this activity tasks, they have a major role in it. Here I would say that while devising these activity tasks, what was the thought behind it? One has to clearly note that the board has given a direction that the syllabus is a bit curtailed. On the basis of the revised syllabus, these activity tasks are framed. Let us take an example. I would first refer to class 5. Class 5 has certain items. Those items we call them as themes. Say for example, in class 5 we have a theme called road safety, and within that theme, what is the main learning outcome? As this child or the student goes through the chapter on road safety, what is the learning outcome? What is he going to know about road safety? The main learning outcome is the student will be aware about certain issues, certain topics about road safety, and at the same time the students will be aware how to keep himself safe and thereby how to save himself from any road accident. This is a major issue, because whenever we open our newspapers, we find every day there is a road accident. Now, students who are at home, since they are not getting direct classroom transaction, they are not getting the instructions from you. Therefore, there is a chance of these road accidents. So, this learning outcome is a major issue in this present scenario. Another topic, or rather we call it theme, is eradication of malnutrition. Now, that is another topic, so that the students come to know about what kind of food they should have and at what time. This actually helps them to have a clear concept on health and hygiene. So, these learning outcomes, these are the basics. Unless the student has attained these minimum learning outcome, then the student of class 5 is not eligible to go into the higher class, where some more issues will be dealt there. In the same way, if we look at the reduced syllabus of class 6, the one major point is patriotism. And what is the subunit of it? The subunit is about national flag, description of national flag, that is the size and shape, and when or where to use the Indian national flag, etc. Now, what is the learning outcome? It talks about the significance of the Indian national flag. Along with it, we have certain questions based on Indian national flag. Now, we have seen that in class 7 again, there are certain more things. In class 7, there are some issues like health related fitness components and skills related fitness components, etc., where body mass index has a major topic to be discussed. I refer to a question that has come in the health and physical education model activity task for class 7, where the question is choose the correct option. The formula for body mass index or BMI is, one option is WT within brackets kg, HT within brackets m square. Second is WT kg, HT within bracket FT square, and third is WT pound, HT FT square. If the student has an idea of BMI, then the student can easily understand, and therefore, he can choose the right answer. Similarly, Yogasana, that is again a very major issue. Yogasana can be actually practiced at home. There are pictures, and possibly you have also shown them various postures of Yogasana, which they could actually practice at home, and thereby, although they are not engaged in any team event, but individual events where his physical condition, where his physical fitness develops, those things can be dealt in this pandemic situation. Now, I refer to another question where there are two postures of Yogasana, and the student has to write the name in the given blank boxes. So, certain issues which could not be dealt, like team games, that is one thing, but there are other issues, there are other topics, other themes that can be actually done at home by the students, and thereby his mental fitness and physical fitness that can be achieved. So, those issues are given of utmost importance. So, in this manner, the entire syllabus of class 5, class 6, class 7 and class 8 that has been gradually reduced, and reduced in the way so that the major learning outcomes which are the quintessential of the syllabus, which are the major things, unless those learning outcomes are not achieved by the student, those items were given paramount importance. I repeat, those learning outcomes are given utmost importance. Unless those items are acquired by the students, they are not eligible or fit for the next higher class. In this mechanism, with this thought in our mind, the model activity tasks are designed. And now a new role, a major onus is upon the teachers of health and physical education. You have to take that responsibility. My dear teachers, all the teachers of health and physical education of West Bengal, it is our duty to take up this responsibility to help the students in solving these questions. Number 2, to find out where the lacuna is. It is also a diagnostic test to find out where the gaps are there of each individual student, and thereby to provide. Thirdly, the remedial or the remediation is to be given to those students who lag behind, because all students cannot learn at the same pace. Each of them has its own pace of learning, and while they are at home, their eagerness for going to school is there, because they do not get the support of the teachers as well as their friends. Therefore, it is the responsibility of the teachers to give them the support, help them to achieve those learning outcomes. With this, I end my session here. Thank you all, and wish that this pandemic situation will come to an end and we can meet our students at school. Thank you.